Hello, I'm Nathan Lee and welcome to this special edition of Bulletin, where we're taking a look back at the work we've been doing to support National Carers Awareness Week. All this week we've been hearing the powerful stories of carers in our region, both young and old, and taking a look at what support's available to them. So coming up on tonight's programme, every parent's worst nightmare.
My son, Barry, I found him home.
And meet the teenager juggling school with caring.
It's normal for me, but if another person was in my shoes, it wouldn't be normal for them.
This is our Carers Awareness Week special made here in Tyne and Wear. Well, we've been speaking to loads of carers this week with amazing and often heartbreaking stories to tell while working alongside support groups like Htw Carers. The charity's been operating in the borough for almost 20 years and they're hoping this week in the limelight will help to let people know more about the work that they do. Here at Htw Carers, the emphasis is usually on support, but this week it's on awareness. Steve Cowan, the Chief Executive at Htw Carers, tells us a bit more about the charity and its plans for Carers Week.
Well, Htw Carers is a charity. We started in 1996 and we're here to support carers, that's unpaid carers, who are supporting a family member, a friend, a neighbour, a loved one, who's looking after someone, caring for somebody who couldn't, without that support, manage their daily lives. One of the big things that we do is we provide information, advice and guidance to carers. Now, the issues that carers come to us with are wide and varied. So it could be anything from advice over adaptations to the home. They may have been asked to complete a carer's assessment. They may be concerned that the person they're looking after isn't receiving the care and support they need from the local authority or from health services. So we'll advise and support them through that and take them right the way through the process.
The charity also has many social activities that offers respite for carers, including this art class which Edith and Ava are regular attendants.
Just needed some advice about something one day and that's how I came to come in. And then from there they just said, you know, what do you do as a carer? Which I did explain to them, looking after someone. And then they just said, well, who looks after you? And I said, I sort of laughed at that. I think, who looks after me? Well, nobody. And then they just suggested that they had lots of things going on, such as the art class, other things, isn't that right, Ava? Yeah. And then we just decided to come and see what it was going to be like. And like I say, it's the support you do get from the other people who are in this group. The SORT group is quite good, isn't it, Ava? Yes. We like to come, like I say, it's a couple of hours where you can sort of just relax and enjoy yourself without having to keep worrying about whoever you're caring for.
And the theme this week is on building a carer-friendly community, as figures show that 1 in 3 of us will become a carer during our lifetime.
One of the things is the word carer frightens a lot of people off. A lot of people are carers, but they don't actually think of themselves as carers. In fact, although I'm Chief Executive of this organisation, I was a carer myself for a number of years, but didn't know organisations like this existed. So I'm really quite passionate about getting the word out there and letting people, carers, know that they're not alone, that there are organisations like us across the northeast of England who they can turn to for help and support.
And that's what all of this week has been about, raising awareness of the support that's out there and available to carers. Now, when we talk about being a full-time carer, people sometimes think it's through choice. But often people don't even realise they've become one and think it's just part of their job as a wife, husband, mum or dad. Sue was one of them and was completely unaware of the help and financial support available. This is her story.
My husband, Graham, has got primary progressive multiple sclerosis. He was diagnosed with that nearly 3 years ago. He started tripping and he thought he was just being clumsy, so he went to the GP who referred him to the neurologist, and they'd done a head and spinal MRI scan and he was informed he'd got primary progressive multiple sclerosis. It puts a lot of pressure on, not only financially, you know, we have 2 daughters, and it is 24/7, but my husband's very proud. He won't claim for any benefit that may be entitled to. He still thinks that while he can muddle on as he's doing, he doesn't class being in the house 24 hours a day as care.
And this is a story heard all too often here at Gateshead Carers, and Janice Hall, a benefits advisor, tells us that this isn't an isolated case.
The vast majority of people who come here aren't really aware of even the most basic things they're entitled to. They might come in here initially with another issue, but through the assessment process, the other support workers will identify really that they'll need advice with benefits as well.
Janice says she's seen a huge increase in the number of claimants in recent years.
I don't know the exact statistics, but it'll be hundreds of percentage rise, you know, even in the last 3 years. It's because of the welfare reforms and the changes to the system, and people really haven't got the skills to complete the form because they don't know what's behind the form, the descriptors and the point system. So they're losing money because of that.
For those in employment and in a full-time caring role, like Sue, it's important to know that they have the support of their employer. The Carer-Friendly Employment Charter offers this support, and businesses across Gateshead have signed up for the scheme. Gateshead Unison is one of them.
I think, well, we signed up to it basically because obviously we've got members who work in Gateshead Carers, but we also see it as another way of signposting our members. It's another service for our members. You know, in these present times, there's lots of people need as much help as they possibly can get. I mean, Gateshead Council on the whole is very supportive of its employees. One of the things what we haven't got, which is surprising in there, is we haven't actually got a policy for carers. You know, where I mean, we've got lots of family-friendly policies. You know, we've got home working policies, flexible working policies, but it's something what needs to be looked at. You know, an actual carers policy. You know,
and that's what's so important about things like the Carer-Friendly Employment Charter. And the carers I spoke to this week told me support from their employers is absolutely vital. Now, moving on. When you think about carers, you don't necessarily think of young carers, but there are approximately 250,000 of them in England and Wales. Like 13-year-old Laura Smith from Sunderland, she told me she's having to juggle friends, schoolwork and swimming training while being a full-time carer for her little sister, who has complex special needs. This is Laura, and she's not automatically what you think of when you think of a carer. She's won Young Achievers Awards for her caring roles, and her story was even featured in a book produced by the Carers Trust and Comic Relief.
I did lad-sponsored swim for the RVI Royal Victoria Infirmary Ward 4 and 14, the Children's Cancer, Leukaemia and Tumour Ward. My sister was 8 years old when she was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. I was upset as my mum had to stay in hospital for a while, so my little brother and me had to get looked after by my grandma. On my sponsored swim, I swam 1,500 metres, a mile, which is 65 lengths in 45 minutes. When I was finished the swim, everyone was clapping and smiling. My heart was pounding. I was so happy.
But Laura takes everything in her stride and helps whenever she can when she isn't at school studying.
She got diagnosed with leukemia in 2012. And then you have, for girls, it's 2 years, of treatment. Then it was just at Christmas, this Christmas, she got the all clear. And then I think she was diagnosed with problems when she was 7 though. I don't really think of it as a job, but it's just as your life, now, just normal, for me, but it's normal for me, but if another person was in my shoes, it wouldn't be normal for them, it's something I've just got to do, there's no option really, it's never going to go away, so.
And the balance between socialising with her friends from school and caring is difficult.
Yeah, really, because you don't get to socialise as much, but then again, I've got other friends to socialise with, our carers who know the same. So we always keep in contact, at the groups and stuff, and off and stuff. It makes you feel good about yourself, doesn't it? Because if I didn't do bits, then it's just deteriorate, so it makes you feel better.
And in the book, Laura explains how she wants to do more charity fundraising work.
My dream is to send the channel, England and France, all backstroke. I'd really want to do this as I'll need persevere a lot. It would take a lot of extra training to achieve this.
Well, I think that we can all agree that Laura really is an amazing young girl and a well-deserved winner of that Young Achievers Award. Still to come tonight on this Carers Awareness Week special, meet Stan, who's been a carer all of his life.
The other son was 33. He was on heroin, like I was saying there before, and he had been taking drugs since he was a kid.
And we revisit Htw Carer's showpiece event.
They love it. I mean, after each year we get more and more people getting in touch with us, you know, can we have a stall at a party in the park?
I'll see you after the break.